Okay, I think we're ready. So, last time we were streaming and we just started making a new fortress, and we're back again. In the fortress, just kind of having a look at everything and seeing how things are. Just to kind of recap the last stream, we had started basically doing some of the very basic necessities that we needed to do. We'd ran into a slight issue with our work orders. I think I'd accidentally told my dwarves to basically cook all my seeds. So we ran out of seeds, which has massively dented our alcohol production, but we're kind of recovering that now. What we've done is we set up a gathering zone. So we just taught our dwarves to go out and gather fruits and fruit and the like, and they've been able to use that to kind of kickstart production of alcohol. So we kind of just need to hold out until autumn, because that's when the trade caravan will arrive, at which point we'll be able to start growing plump helmets again. And I think we will... So we need to be more careful with how we do cooking orders in the future, but let me just have a look and see. I'm going to just see if I can do prepare lavish meal, and then set the conditions in this so that... Let's say that's less than 20. And the amount of unrotten cookable solid items there. And we'll also see, we can't set a material condition on this, unfortunately. Yeah, I think the only thing we'll have to do is we'll just have to keep an eye out on our kitchen use and make sure that we've got... So anything that we can cook, we'll cook. So like quarry bush leaves, for example, strawberry plants, which we can't brew. But we need to make sure that we're not cooking any seeds that we want to be using for our food here. And we don't want to cook any ale either. I'm really not sure. You know, because like my understanding was that when you cooked a plump helmet, for example, you actually got seeds from it. But I guess that might be wrong. That might just be me making a bit of a problem for myself. So hopefully that's not going to happen again, but as soon as we do get plump helmets, so just check that again and make sure that that's not going to be a problem. The other thing that we were doing was that we were building up our basic, you know, just kind of like our basic necessities. We got really delayed on doing these, and that's had a hit on our dwarves. Some of our dwarves have migrated from the last fortress as well, which means that they're incredibly unhappy just because... they were incredibly unhappy in that fortress, and they brought all of their problems with them. So you know that's kind of a problem. The JP theme played on the kazoo and melodica sounds like the perfect fit for Undead and Mosquitoes. Hey, Eurus there. I don't know what you're referring to, JP theme. But in any case, we're in an okay spot, I think. We need to build more bedrooms. We've got 21 dwarves. We've currently got, well, there's 8 and 2 8s is 16, so 16 bedrooms. We do need to place more doors and things, just to kind of get all of these done. But we'll keep going through that. And then once we've done that, we can then start doing something a bit more exciting. Like, for example, we could look at starting our bee production, which is something that we talked about quite a lot in the last stream. So, you know, that'd be quite good to do that. So I'll just place these doors here, and let's just see if we've got any more cabinets that we can place as well. So we want to place those. How have we done it in the top here? So just place all these cabinets over the top of the beds, and looks like, yeah, that's as many cabinets as we got. But that's good. Everything's good. Allow me to present. Oh, I can't open that on stream right now. You're gonna have to post that in Discord, and I'll have a look at it in a second. Normally before I start the stream, you know, when I do the intro music, there's a couple of different tracks I like to use, and it's mostly disco and easy music at the moment. But like, you have to be careful because, you know, I don't want to do anything that could be like get me copyrighted or cause problems later on. Like, I don't want anything I upload to YouTube to get copyright claimed, which would be a real pain in the arse for me. So I always cut the intro out on the YouTube uploads anyway, but you know, like I don't want to open up any YouTube links during the stream, and then without me knowing it, that part is apparently copyrighted, and then and then that causes issues. One of the things I had years ago was when I was uploading Dwarf Fortress streams, because Dwarf Fortress had that one soundtrack on repeat, and I couldn't stand it. Like, You know, it's fine the first few hundred times, but when you've heard it so many times, it's like, come on, anything else but this. So that's when we used to just play video game music. But then on a bunch of my uploads, I got copyright struck, and for like just the this is on YouTube. For like oh god, it was like it was like I was using the soundtrack from a video game, so Stronghold, for example, and the algorithm would misinterpret that as part of some like weird Turkish flute music, and then I got copyright struck because of some artist I've never heard of, and it was just so frustrating. It's not like I'm monetized in any way on YouTube. It's just I don't want my videos to have ads on it, you know. Um, or at least I don't want it to be monetized like that because it's just really silly. It's really silly. But enough griping about that. Yeah, it used I think it used to be a bit better, but these days it's just a real crap shot. And I don't fancy risking it. Make jet tables. Oh yeah, the other thing that we were doing was we were also making our so we're making a dining room here because we don't have one yet. So what we're just going to do is we're going to start placing these dining tables in here. We built 5 of them. I don't know if I'll be able to fit 5 in here. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to think about how we could do this. We could do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's 9, which is more than enough, honestly. And then we'll do tables and chairs. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll need some more thrones, but that's fine. Did we set this as a one-time only order? How many more are we gonna need? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll making 2 already. So just make an additional 2 chairs, and then that should be fine. But this is just a very basic dining room. We're gonna make a proper tavern later. I think there's a lot to be said for making an actual tavern. But we'll make a very basic dining room in here, and this should help with the dwarves at least a little bit. It doesn't take very much to make a dining room like a high quality dining room. So we can just have this as like a very basic sort of dining room, and you know that'll help the dwarves with their various little problems that dwarves have. You know, it's not easy being a dwarf. Although you'd think, wouldn't you, that it's perhaps. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's the dining room there. Do we have anything on here? We could assign this as a tavern. And then we could assign like a tavern keeper and stuff like that, but I don't really want to do that. We'll just have this as the basic hall. So this is like the basic hall. This is just the very first one, and that will go some way to help with our dwarves' mood issues that they've got at the moment. It won't be enough to fix all of them, but again, like, dining in a proper dining room is one thing, you know, eating off a table. The other thing we could do is we could perhaps make some goblets as well. So we could go in here and we could say, let's make some goblets. So we could make goblets just out of rock. Yeah, are they called goblets when they're made out of rock? Actually, that's a good point. Rock goblets? No, they're called rock mugs, I think. Yeah, rock mugs. So we could make some rock mugs, and we'll just make 10 of those as a one-time order. And what we'll also do is, because I don't want them to go and put them in this finished stockpile here, I want them to goblets. Cancel that. And I think there's also one on the surface somewhere up here. Yeah, there's one here. So on this one here, we'll just set this one to just not have goblets in it as well. I always forget, actually. So there's actually now a menu. There's actually now a menu for this kind of stuff. But wait, come on. God. Yeah, I'm clicking in that. Okay, there we go. Goblets. Don't want any goblets in there. Hooray! Hey, Jake. And yeah, Euristo stream. I know, right? We've done so much streaming recently, isn't it absurd? It's incredible, really. But hey, it's Dwarf Fortress. I'm not just gonna become like a Dwarf Fortress streamer forever. By the way, I do intend to stream some other stuff at some point. But at the very least, whilst this game's kind of new and it's going to be the main focus, and I'm going to keep playing it. I think it's probably going to be my main game if I'm streaming. But I do want to do some streams that are things other than Dwarf Fortress occasionally. Yeah, it's almost like a good game came out. That's true. I was just it wasn't so much that I was done with ASCII Dwarf Fortress, like I was just done with that particular update to Dwarf Fortress. Like it had been so long since anything new and significant had really been done with the game because they were developing the Steam version, and so I didn't want to stream it at a time when they weren't really doing anything that new. Whereas now we've got the Steam version, there have been some changes already to how the game balance works. There's been some kind of interesting additions in that respect. And you know, we're kind of seeing that already in terms of like the aggression, for example. Things are just overall more aggressive than they used to be. Although saying that, when I say used to be, I mean since like 2014. But in the past, they were far more aggressive. But still, like things like the aggression system, you know, that's the kind of stuff that's interesting to see. Okay, and then we'll dig this out here. And I'm just gonna, because one thing I never really do, I always have trouble with the amount of temples I have, and this is one of the things that you know like upsets dwarves, is not being able to pray to the appropriate god. So I'm gonna fix that by making sure that I've got loads of temples just at the start of the game, because it's a very powerful mood modifier. Temples are, and like the ability to worship the gods that they like, it really does impact their mood. And the other thing is I noticed that we had an order for tables that wasn't able to complete because we didn't have enough microlean. I think it was for doors, actually. But if we dig this out, we'll get plenty of tables. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So like that. Yeah, and then one more over here. We could unpause whilst they're digging this out. Yeah, that should be fine. And then they'll dig those out, and then we'll have 4 more temples. That's going to be 8 temples in total. Are gods predefined? How does worship work? Gods are procedurally generated, but basically, there's a system of what's known as spheres, right? Spheres, so there's a sphere of death. There's the sphere of oceans. There's the sphere of fire, and gods are generated and associated with these spheres. Like a god will be generated for each civilization that is associated with the sphere of death, disease, fire, suicide, whatever. And there can be some overlap between them. So in some civilizations, you'll have a dwarven god who is the god of death and disease. But in another civilization, you might have a god of just death or a god of like blight and disease, for example. But it's all procedurally generated, so the gods are different. Now, at the moment, the gods don't do very much. They exist as entities, but they don't have a great deal of impact in the Dwarf Fortress world. But there are 2 main ways that they interact with the world of Dwarf Fortress. The first one is through curses. Well, actually, there's 3 main ways that they interact with the world of Dwarf Fortress. But the first one is through curses. So, gods can curse dwarves or other creatures, and the reason that they usually do this is because if you defile one of their temples by toppling structures inside of them, the gods can curse you and turn you into either a werebeast or a vampire. So that's how werebeasts and vampires are created in the world of Dwarf Fortress. It's because gods have cursed people to turn into that form. The other way that gods interact with the world of Dwarf Fortress is that during world generation, gods will strike. Okay, actually, this is kind of spoilerish. So if you don't want to listen to this, it's a bit spoilerish. So I'll give you an opportunity to like mute me for a bit. So this is major spoilers here. So you have all been forewarned. During world generation, gods will strike deals with demons, and they will basically they will free demons from hell, and then those demons will go on to lead goblin civilizations. So that's the other main thing that they do. There was one other thing that they do as well, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. The other thing that gods do is gods teach necromancers the secrets of life and death. But that's specifically gods who are associated with death. So gods of death teach necromancers the secrets of life and death, and that's how necromancers enter the world of Dwarf Fortress. So in order for necromancy to exist in Dwarf Fortress, there first has to be secrets, which are generated in the history files. So, for example, there's like a list of secrets that are generated, and you can change this in settings as well. You can say that there are going to be no secrets, and then there can't be any necromancers. And each secret of life and death is slightly different. So, like, necromancer powers can vary in terms of what specific types of zombies they can create. They might have other powers associated with them, like the ability to freeze somebody to make them stand still, for example. But the gods of death will teach dwarves or other creatures the secrets of life and death. But basically, in order for the secrets of life and death to occur, in order for somebody to want to learn the secrets of life and death, they have to fear for their own mortality. And this is interesting as well. Basically, if you were to generate a history, if you were to generate a world in Dwarf Fortress somehow that had only immortal creatures in it, so it didn't have any goblins, it didn't have any humans, it didn't have any dwarves, it didn't have any animal men civilizations. It only had goblins and elves in it. There would be no necromancers. There just wouldn't be any at all. Because there would never be a time when an elf or a goblin was like, I am scared that I might die one day, and therefore I'm going to try and figure out the secrets of life and death. So yeah. It's sorry, I kind of went off on a big tangent there, but that's basically gods in Dwarf Fortress. So, for example, let's have a look at this. We can click here, we can click on relations, and we can see what gods this particular dwarf worships. This worships a lot of different gods. She worships a god called Raung. Normally, in the past, you were able to kind of examine these in a bit more detail, but I don't know exactly where that information is hidden. Also, are we out of drinks again? Is that because they're using all of our drinks in the kitchen? It must be. I thought I told them they weren't allowed to use drinks when I set up the new kitchen order. I just removed that work order. I'll just tell them to go make drinks again. We should have enough plants to brew drinks with plants again. Still, I need to stop messing with that. We don't have enough plants to brew into drinks. That's fine. We will get some because we still have this zone set up, and we could probably expand this. Just cover that. I don't know where petitions go, I'm afraid. It's not that they're afraid of death, it's that they fear their own mortality, which is slightly different. Goblins are immortal, which means that they only die of disease, of basically violence. So a necromancer, they could get scared in a fight. They could get scared of dying in a fight, but they don't get scared of like dying of old age. So yeah, that's kind of the key difference, I guess. That's what I'm referring to. Anyway, so construction continues. We've got all these there. I was going to make a little stockpile for... where is it? Stockpile. Actually, in here. Custom, and then we want this to go into finished goods. Goblets. Then we don't care if it's all stone, all metal, all gem, all other material, all core qualities and all total qualities, but only goblets in that stockpile. So they should then put the goblets that we told them to make into the stockpile, although it doesn't look like anyone's actually started making those goblets yet. We only have one crafts workshop, which I'm guessing means that we're probably. Let's see, carpenters. Actually, it's probably because I told everybody to go outside and get plants again. So that the moment I expend the zone out, they rush off to go pick up anything that is on the ground out here. But I need them to do it, like you know, the kitchen seeds. Yeah, we need more things that we can brew. We've got lots of apricots and pears, apricots, so that's fine. Okay, and then yeah, so the other thing that we need to do here. So we've gotten some temples now. We've gotten some very basic temple structures up, and we're just filling these out. So we'll place another temple, meeting areas, and then we'll place another one here, another one here, another one here, another one here. So that's another. Oh, that's actually just one big temple I just placed. I just want to place the. I need to remember to do this individually. So accept that. Then accept that. Then accept that. Then accept that. So that's a bunch more temples, right? We now need to create temples for each one. So let's go to the new temple. So I'm actually not sure which temples I've got already. I need to quick have a look at them. So this is a shrine to Odd the Subtle. We got one to Imast Dented Sculptures, the Absolute. We got one to Amud, and we got one, the Sanctum of Juice, which is a dedicated to Imust Canker Crypt, the Frothy Ghost. So we got two of those, Mr. Frothy Ghost Man? No, we got Imast Dented Sculptures, the Absolute, and then there's also Imust Canker Crypt, the Frothy Ghost. They got pretty similar first names. But other than that, so if we go to our new temple then, so we don't have one to the Sprayed Lamb. We don't have one to the Wickedness Hood of Riding. We don't have one to Solon, the Fires of Controlling. We need one to him because he's obviously a proper dwarven god. So the Shrine of Roofs, which is to Solon, the Fires of Controlling there. So who else? I got one to a Mud, Imast, and Odd. I wish on this screen here it would tell you whether you already had a temple to them or not. We didn't have one to Ral, the god of mountains. And then we'll create a new temple here. So we don't have one to Stetad, who is the god of jewels and wealth, and then we'll make a new temple here, which will be to no specific deity. That's just a generic temple. And then they can hopefully use that one if they're not happy with any of the ones that we provided for them. Is there anything else that we can do? I guess the other thing we could do is just dig some more of this out here for some more bedrooms, but I've run out of microline, and I know there's microline on this level. I guess there must be on this level as well. So if we dig out more bed spaces, then eventually we'll find some more. Yeah, it's one of those streams today. I'm sure something exciting will happen soon. All right. We could always look to dig deeper as well and maybe try and uncover the caverns. But I did say I'd do bees. I've said that several times now that will sort bees out. So we'll do that first. Just making some cubby holes because we can have statues along here. So I'll dig all that out, and then that's the start of another area of beds that we can do here. In fact, we'll just make it a lot bigger than that, just for now. I really can't wait for those traders to come so we can just buy some alcohol and get some more plump helmet seeds. You see, we could get some more plump helmet seeds by opening the caverns up because there'll be plump helmets growing in the caverns. But, yeah. There's limestone. Let's start doing some engraving as well. So we'll set all of... Oh, actually, our miners are my engravers, aren't they? I don't think I've assigned anyone else to be an engraver. We do have spare dwarves again, so like there is potential here for us to like pick out some other dwarves that we could make into engravers. I don't care who stone cuts, but I do only want like specific people to be engravers because I want them to get good at it. Aesop here could be an engraver. Maybe we turn Aesop into a miner. We could do with some more miners, but we're gonna need to start making a metal industry for that. Now I just have to wait for it to finish saving. But yeah, outside of Dwarf Fortress, things are going pretty well as well. I've gotten loads of new models that I need to make. I got a bunch of stuff because of the Christmas period. A bunch of stuff goes on sale at Christmas, so I picked it up on the cheap. Relatively cheap. I mean, this is Games Workshop after all. Yeah, I've picked up some more stuff, which is pretty nice. I'll be going through that this area. I have been playing more games of Warhammer. I haven't won a single one yet, which is quite fun. I've played 4 games and lost all of them. As is tradition, I had hoped that the fact that England lost the World Cup game against France would mean that I would then win the following Warhammer game that I played, but it doesn't work like that. Despite everything I said and voiced in the chat channel at the time. My theory of the cyclical nature of these things is obviously false. But yeah, so be it. I'm sure I'll definitely win. I'll definitely win the next game of Warhammer I play, I'm sure. But yeah, that's just the nature of it. And the other thing that's been good to see as well is that there's already been lots of very interesting mods that have been made. I don't think we can use any yet because I think they would break this save, but I think there is some mods that are useful for things like UI and stuff, so I might have a look into those soon as well. I saw one that added like keys on this, so you could see like, for example, the different keys for all the different stuff. Alright, we still haven't found any more microlean. Maybe they added damn petition key. That would also be good, wouldn't it? That'd be excellent. Yeah, I'm just gonna dig out some more of this junk because I need some more microlean. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the last fortress, but I had a pretty similar problem where I couldn't remember who I had agreed to build a temple to, because I was pretty sure I'd started the stream like in the previous stream I'd agreed to build a temple for someone, and then I couldn't figure out who I'd actually agreed to it, or if I actually had, or if I was like imagining it, and that was like really irritating because you know you're trying to find that out because you want to be able to complete it because it's not hard to do. And it'll make all my dwarves happy. But again, I just couldn't find it anywhere, so I was like really confused. And then I was asking people to kind of look through the logs, maybe see if anyone could spot it, but I don't think anyone could. So yeah, it was just a kind of annoying situation all around. But that's the way it goes. It was, for me, it wasn't a guild hall. It was a oh, they consider the stamp because of the, it's directly underneath where we had our little problem earlier. Our little aquifer problem. Alright, but at least we got some more microlene. Alright, let's get some basic engraving done in here just to improve the quality of this even further. Yeah, there we go. We've got some limestone mugs in here. Aquifer. Yeah, I'm sure that stuff will come eventually. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's stuff that just gets added in a pretty quick update from Toady himself. So it just, it's just a matter of time, really. It'll come, like all good things. So we're going to engrave we're just going to engrave our tavern over here to increase the quality of that. Just whilst our miners are doing that, because the next thing I want to work on is, we want to work on bees, but I think what would be really useful to do before we work on bees would be to build a wall, so that we can have like an area out here, which we got like pretty safely walled off. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start by building the wall section of that first. And we're just going to start by using I'm going to try and use jets, I think, because I think I had a load of jet. I have a bunch of jet blocks. We can make more jet blocks as well, so I'll use jet for this. But we're going to start basically like making an outdoor area here. We've got 4 more blocks left, so we'll just start constructing this wall, and then once we've done that, we'll tell them to make some more jet blocks. I want this. I'm like, on some things I want them all to be the same block. On other things I don't really care, but like on this it has to all be jet, because it's going to look terrible if it's not all jet. So yeah, we're going to set up an order for that. So rock blocks, make 10 of those, and we'll set the conditions. If there's less than 10 available, and specifically less than 10 jet rock blocks available, then make more of those. And we'll also set the material to use jet, because again, it's a cool looking material, and it really fits the vibe, doesn't it? Of like the haunted biome. So yeah, we need that, and we need to start thinking about defenses, because we're in our second year. It would now be really apposite for it'd be the appropriate time for zombies to show up. In fact, I'm surprised it didn't show up the moment I said that. That happened the last time when I said that when it if a forgotten beast turns up now, we're screwed, and then a forgotten beast turned up. So yeah. Minecarts with coins. Oh, we could try that, definitely. That's a long-term project, but we could definitely do that. We have to make them out of the finest metals, though, right? It's not good enough to just make coins out of tin. We need platinum, or we make them out of like some really no, we make them out of sterling silver. So there's 2 kinds of zombies that we could have. One of them would have been like zombies from the biome itself, which we have fortunately avoided. So I don't think that there's any wildlife zombies on this map. The other kind of zombie would have been what's the word? The other kind of zombie that I'm talking about is zombies from the tower, because we're near to a tower. Oh yeah, we've had prophets visiting our fortress. They've not done anything though. So I think we've had some prophets. I didn't notice anything about any prophets, but we have had some prophets showing up. Oh no, oh my god, I just designated a bunch of these to use closest material, which I absolutely do not want. And I don't think there's an easy way to cancel these other than just like clicking through them, unless the eraser works on them. No, it doesn't. I'm surprised. The eraser should work on these. There might be a better way to do this. I'm just not sure. That's all. Press X. Oh, Oh, okay. Remove mining, chopping, gas. Well, actually, oh yeah, yeah. No, this doesn't work. Yeah. Sorry, I thought when you said press X, you were referring to a different one. But no, the eraser doesn't actually erase these, which is really irritating. Everyone is gathering plants still, which I don't really need them to do anymore. So I'm just gonna temporarily turn off this zone so that they go back inside. And that's what, and then they'll start building this wall and doing other tasks, which are far more important. Like building beds, for example. And oh, we didn't attract any migrants this year. That's fine. We have plenty of dwarves at the moment. We have plenty of very miserable dwarves who are all upset. Like this guy here, Asob. Unmet need. Got loads of temples. Go pray to any of them. Sorry, I'm like choking to death on this guy. He's like killing me here, Mr. Asob. I didn't figure it out, but I'm pretty sure it's to do with value and generated in the fort, and we haven't generated very much value in the fortress. So now we're generating more value. Like here, for example, we've engraved on the floor a picture of Bim meeting Glitz, the dwarf, and Rimok, the giant jaguar. Rimok is striking down Bim meeting Glitz. The artwork relates to the killing of the dwarf Bim meeting Glitz by the giant jaguar Rimok in the Dunes of Sundering in 72. Yeah, like we haven't done very much to increase our value, so that's probably the reason why we haven't had any migrants, as has been said in the chat. And I mean that happened on the last one as well. Like we had no migrants, and then we started making like statues out of silver and no statues out of copper. But even copper statues was enough to was enough to do it. Oh no, the manager gave birth to a baby. I think that improved the manager's mood though. I gave birth to a girl. Such adoration, I feel. Alright, we made some rock mugs. Let's have a look. So some of these dwarves are upset because they haven't had a chance to do anything. So like this guy, for example, he's upset. He is a stonecrafter. Have we told him that he's not allowed to stonecraft, or he should be doing stonecrafting? I guess we can make more workshops, and that'll open up more job opportunities. We should probably do that. Like, our miners are currently engraving at the moment, but as soon as they're finished engraving, that'll be a good opportunity for them to do some stuff. So we'll just start opening up some more workshops here. Because we got very few workshops in this fortress. We could open up some other workshops as well. We should be doing jewellery. We don't ever do jewellery. Let's set a new task up for hives. I'm not quite sure where hives are made. Or should we make the hives out of metal? Is that going too far? Am I making things far more complicated than they need to be? Or should we in fact start making hives out of the finest metals that are available to us in the fortress? The only metal we have access to at the moment is hematite, but we could dig down and try and find some more valuable metals, and we could then we could make hives, and we could encrust them with fine jewels as well. Again, there's no value in any of this, but maybe we'll have higher quality bees if we do this. I've decided we are in fact going to do this. I think what I'll do is, because normally I would just continue my, I'd normally just continue my my staircase down, like directly beneath where my dormitory is, but I want to prevent a situation where something can get onto the staircase very quickly and start murdering everything. So I think we're going to actually build a new room here, which will be where we'll do the staircase, and we'll continue it down here. But then we can build a drawbridge here, and we can potentially block this off if need be. So that would be an extra level of security here. We could close down this staircase. Because we're about to enter the territory where we could realistically open up the cavern, so it'd be worth doing that in case you have a repeat of last time. The bees do require an initial home. Driving up the valley, the fortress is of dire importance. Yeah, that is true. They need a very good home. They need like a high quality home, right? Where are our miners at? They're engraving still. That's fine. We can. That spooked me. That noise did. Okay, one of our dwarven children has been taken by a strange mood. This is going to be our second artifact. Why are they still gathering plants? Yes. Tasks. Neighbors. Plant gatherings. Nobody does this. Claim to craft dwarf workshop. Oh, this is going to be a rubbish artifact again. Larch logs. Larch logs. And she's already begun making it. Minbaz Sakarith. That's what it's going to be called. Second rubbish artifact. Do you ever build a fortress with a U-bend in it, like a sink, to allow an emergency forward? No. Normally, my normal strategy for building a fortress is just to have a single staircase that goes down, which is probably not the most defensible position, but that is my typical strategy. Is the good old single staircase that just goes down, however deep it needs to go. Asop here is upset again. At least he's now praying to Odd the Subtle, so hopefully that'll meet his unmet need. It's a balance between trying to make something that's defensive and trying to make something where, like, people can get to places quickly. A large ring! She has created Minbaz Sakarith, a large ring. She offers it to the Mine of Age. Let's have a look at this new artifact. I think it's under Places, Labor, Objects. This is a larch ring, all craftsmanship highest quality. It is decorated with larch and encircled with bands of larch. Okay. One way that we can protect the larch ring, I found this out in this version. So if we go to our manager's office here, so if we click on this here, we can give them a symbol for them to wear, and I think we might be able to assign them the yeah, we could give them the ring. We could give our manager the larch ring for them to carry, and that'd actually improve her mood because she would have acquired an object, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to do that. We can have, it's a symbol of the authority of the manager to give orders. Is the ring made of larch, you know, as is custom in this fortress. Does a pedestal protect it? No, not really. You can still have questers show up and snatch it off of pedestals. If you want to put it on a pedestal, my advice would be to put it in a high traffic location, so that if somebody does try and snatch it off the pedestal, they'll be noticed quickly. I've done it in the past where I've had a really cool artifact and I've wanted to put it in a tomb or something, and then I've put it in the tomb, and then someone has come and stolen it. The other way that you can protect an artifact is if it's a furniture artifact, just build it. You know, if you get an artifact floodgate, just use it somewhere, because if it's constructed, they can't pick it up. Oh yeah, that's true. But I mean, the main risk is from infiltrators. So you know, sometimes you have if you have an open tavern, for example. So if you're allowing dwarves into your fortress or you have an open library, then that's how they get you. Um, so we only have seeds for pigtails, right? We have a lot of ginkgo seeds. A lot of hen eggs. A bunch of pigtails, which should be being processed. Wait, processed? They're just processed plants, aren't they? Set that on repeat. We'll have someone process this pigtail so that they can grow them again. Pigtails can be grown in autumn. No, no, no. So I'm not referring to snatchers. I'm referring to questers. With the new agent system, well, it's not new. It's been for about 2 years. There we go, cavern. Sorry, yeah, sorry. I was saying with the agent system, you can have people who are like um it's sorry, let me try and think of how to explain this. So what you can do is you can have an agent. So you'll have somebody out there in the world of Dwarf Fortress, who has a desire to possess your object, and they can either corrupt individuals themselves, or they can attend your fortress disguised as like a traveler. So if you have an open inn, the open inn will have people in it, and they'll be like travelers who've come from around the world to see your inn, to see your temple, for example. We might even have some in the fortress right now. So these guys here. So this guy here, Thicket, Whipped, Tangled. He's a prophet, and he's come to visit my temple. Now people can come disguised as other people, or they can come with fake jobs or fake descriptions. And the reason they can be there is to try and corrupt one of your dwarves into telling them where the artifact is in the fortress. And once they've found out where the artifact is, they'll try and take it. And they can do this through having your dwarf take it, for example. Your dwarf will then take the artifact, they'll carry it off to a location on the map, and then they'll swap the artifact with the other person, who will then run away. Like, the only real protection against that is to basically not allow anyone into your fortress, or to make it so that it's impossible for them to have the opportunity to steal your artifacts. How funny would it be if you caught him in the middle of snatching something while trying to explain it? Yeah. I mean, that would just be my luck, right? But no, that's basically it. I'm gonna have to change this. I don't have enough microlean. I thought I would have more of it, so I'm just gonna change this. Get rid of the material condition. We'll just. Is there not a way to get rid of this? Or did we just do it? I don't want to make it out of limestone, actually. Any? All? I'll just cancel it. I'll just cancel it. We'll make a new one, which will just be a door. Out of rock door. Make rock door. Amount of stockpile doors. We don't care what the material is. That's the wrong button. Amount of rock doors. Yeah. I think actually though, if we go to our standing orders and stone use, we don't want to use we don't want to use that. So now they'll use other stones as well. So they can use any of these stones, but they can't use chalk and they can't use limestone. because both of those are used for production of stuff. In the case of chalk, it's quicklime, and then in the case of yeah, everything else, it's everything else. Okay, let's just go down here. Dig a small staircase here. Down the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to cap the cavern. We're going to seal the cavern up again. So, agitated ravens. At least they were just ravens. They weren't anything more scary than that. But yeah, this is why we need to have our that's why we need to have our fortress like somewhere. It was there. Oh, a giant mosquito. The dwarven child scratches the agitated mosquito in the third left leg. Okay, I don't think anyone's died. Probably some of my dwarves are injured, but I don't really mind that if they're injured. We can make a hospital if anyone was like seriously injured. It doesn't look like anyone is. They should go and butcher those. Is it because it's an outside animal? Yeah, it's because they moved into the stockpile straight away. There might be a standing order where I can tell them that they're actually allowed to go grab them from outside. Tasks, labor, standing orders. I know we got automatic kitchen and automatically butcher carcasses, but hauling, refuse and dump. I think that'll allow them to do this task if I just do that. Eat. Alright, I'll turn that off then. I'll just check if there's any other standing orders that could be preventing that. Yeah. That's unfortunate because I would have liked them to. I would have liked them to butcher the ravens because that's like free meat, right? Like we just killed them anyway, so we may as well. That's fine. All right. So they ran out of plants to process. We're running out of drinks, but it is autumn soon, so I think we'll be fine. Oh, Chosro and Kaladin are both legendary miners, which is good to see. How's your health? You're faint. I think you had your blood sucked by one of the mosquitoes, but I think that was it. So you should probably be fine. You get that blood back, right? Alright, but this is the cavern. So can we see any rocks or anything interesting? There's Spinel here. Doesn't look like there's anything that's that might stand out other than just like there's an olm. There's been a dead olm somewhere in here, so there's something nasty down here. There's I think some creepy crawlers. What have we got here? Amethyst, diorite. I don't see any ores, but there's a potential that we'll find some. Let's just clear all of these work orders there. The miners will come down and mine the staircase down. Oh, we're running through drinks quickly. I haven't set up a stupid work order again. They're just drinking them quickly. They are dwarves after all. I should have expected it. Okay, and then what I'm just going to do is, so I'm going to go here, and then we're going to build a construction. And I'm just going to build a floor over where the old staircase was. And they can just use the closest material. It doesn't really matter what they use. But I'm going to build a floor over the old staircase at the bottom here. And that'll just prevent anything from coming up the stairs. Because, you know, that is currently open to the cavern at the moment. You know, it's unlikely anything would climb up, but there is the risk that something would fly up. So in that way, we just prevent anything from being able to get, like, up here. You know, nothing can climb up this little bit of staircase here. So we just do that. That just closes it off, and then that means that we don't have to do anything else with that for now. But we know where the cavern is now, so that's always good to have in our back pocket. We can do some exploratory digging on this floor and see if we can find anything interesting. No, it will prevent anything from coming up the stairs. Pretty sure of this. I don't think I'm a Dwarf Fortress expert. I could be wrong, but basically, the only thing that can remove a construction, like a constructed floor, is a dwarf. So, yeah. That's always been my method for capping off the cavern anyway, and you know, I've not been proven wrong yet. So I have been giving this advice out for a while. It could be that I am hilariously wrong, and like I've doomed 1,000 fortresses to their deaths because people have been following my awful advice. But yeah, that's my understanding anyway. Building destroyers can't destroy all kinds of buildings. There's a difference between a constructed wall and like what a building destroyer can destroy. Building destroyers can destroy things like grates. They can destroy things like grates, doors, statues, workshops, for example. They cannot destroy walls. The only thing that can tear down the only thing that is capable of destroying a wall that has been made by a dwarf is a dwarf. That's how strong dwarven walls are. You can really get into this in terms of just how powerful the dwarven wall is. It's one of the most amazing feats of construction in all of humanity. There, in all, well, basically the world. There's really nothing that compares to it, right? Like. Here's an example. If a dwarf makes an ice wall, yeah, there you go. Space has got it. A built ice wall can withstand magma. In fact, a natural ice wall will melt. So if the ice wall was naturally formed, and it interacts with magma, it will melt. But if the ice wall is there because a dwarf put it there, then it'll stay there forever. In fact, you can like hover over it, and like you know, it'll say when you hover over it, it'll say like hot ice wall, like warm ice wall. That's just how good dwarves are, you know. Dwarven craftsmanship is on an entirely different level. It's on a level like unlike anything else. There really is nothing like it, basically. I didn't need them to get rid of this construction here. That one, is it? That one, yeah. This is stuff that is subject to change, though. Like everything else in Dwarf Fortress. One day, 30... oh, God, I just did this. The exact same thing I did earlier, again. Okay, so if you use this one, it removes the construction designation. Okay, that's good to know. Type material after placement. I want to use jet block specifically. The caravan has arrived. Okay, that's really good because we literally just ran out of beer. I don't think we've got anything of very good value to trade with them. We should appoint a stockbroker as well. Let's appoint a broker. I don't think we have any dwarves who have a particular skill at brokering, but we will appoint one anyway. Oh, actually we do. Hal here is probably our best broker, maybe? Or actually Tun. Tun is a better negotiator. I think Tun here is perhaps a better broker, so we'll make them the broker. We don't have anyone who's got any appraisal skill, but once we do some trades with them, that'll increase their ability to appraise. What's that? Sorry, I passed 2 week learning all the bug. There are still some missing. There are loads of different bugs and things in Dwarf Fortress. There's like loads of different things that you're always learning new stuff in this game. That's the way I see it. Bins. We don't want to do the finished goods bin. We'll move that one there. We have got a gem bin. Or finished good bin, but I don't think that contains anything. Oh, this one does, but I think that has an artifact in it, which is why it's so valuable. Actually, yeah, this is the one that's got all our mugs in it. We don't want to sell any of our mugs, any of our precious, valuable mugs. This one has got a bunch of our jet crowns and things in it, so we'll sell that. We don't want to sell Tad Mem though. That's not for sale. It's an artifact. We need to make something that we can sell quickly, just whilst it's here. Actually, one thing we can sell. Move goods to stockpile. If we got any left, would actually be food. Seeds. Oh, loads of ginkgo seeds. Rendered fat, plant barrel. Is it here? Prepared meal? No. Is it lavish? Meal? Oh, maybe they got rid of the ability to trade meals. Or maybe we just ran out. Oh, actually they're called roasts, aren't they? Roast. We don't have any roasts. Bollocks. Roast used to be really good for selling. Okay, we'll make some. We'll just tell my dwarves to make something real quick. Let's make some crafts, and we'll make some crafts out of bone crafts, because I'm sure I've got bones in the fortress. So we can just tell them to go do that for a bit. Diplomacy. Don't want anything in particular. I remembered last year he wanted ammunition. He's going to want rings and figurines next year, which is unfortunate because it's this year that I've got them. What are my dwarves up to at the moment? Tasks. They're all just praying and being useless. Yep, you're still alive. No one's died today. No one has died yet, I should say. Okay, he can't make bone crafts because I chucked all the bones out. In that case, then, let's try and make some rodders. Just make as many of these as you can, because I know that they'll sell, and we need a bunch of them anyway. So just make 40 of these. Let's get the trader into the depot. We have loads of cats. No, I haven't made an army to survive the Embark. I'm just if like anything like that did arrive, then basically I would focus on just closing the fortress down until such time that I was prepared to fight them. Like I've got a drawbridge that's able to close the fortress down, so that would be the basic idea. Would just be to close it down. I wouldn't try and fight any zombies at this stage. There's just no way that we can really there's just no way that we could win a fight like that. It would just be impossible. We would have to basically just sit tight and see if we could have something come up in response. So that'd just be the only solution, unfortunately. Book scepters, bunch of chalk earrings, crowns, jet crown, amulets, and then in return we're going to want to have some. We want to get some drinks first. So we get a couple of beer barrels. And then seeds was the other thing that we needed. So seeds. Picked our seeds, yep. Take that. Picked our seeds. Dude, have they not bought... Have they, oh my god, they haven't bought pump helmet seeds with them, have they? They have brought pump helmets with them though, so we'll just take all of these pump helmets. Yeah, and that'll also give him a very good profit. We could maybe try and get something else. And we'll see if they got any cheap books. They have got a grizzly bear parchment. They have a copy of Strange Animal Courtship. If we buy that, then we're not going to be able to get everything. He's probably not going to accept this trade. We'll try it. Okay, he did. That's fine. Oh, sorry, I haven't been looking at the chat. 3 years I dodged the COVID bullet only to catch it on the first trip to Birmingham City Hospital. Oh, that's really sad to hear. I hope you get better soon. I've had it myself. I know how rough it is. It's really, really rough. They're trying to make the rodders, but yeah, no, it's pretty miserable. Sorry, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, that was it. We're gonna butcher some of our dogs. Sorry, I was just talking about how miserable it is to have COVID, and now we're talking about how we're gonna butcher some of our dogs. But that is indeed what we're gonna do. We're gonna butcher. Although we don't have any grown dogs. We have so many pup. Oh, we have a grown dog here. Butcher this dog. Second time was worse. I beat it in 3 days with a lot of rehydration stuff. Yeah, it's like I had it very mild, so I was quite fortunate. But I definitely had it, I think, and it was just a pretty miserable time all around. But again, I had it pretty mild. You know, I didn't have any like conditions that exacerbated it or anything else. All right, now they're brewing drinks from plants, and because they got all those pump helmets and they're brewing the pump helmets into seeds, they'll now be able to use the seeds in order to plant more pump helmets, which fixes our drink problem and also gets us loads of food. And dogs have just been stuck here because that's where we made the temporary. We made the temporary. In fact, you know what we're gonna do? Cage, restraints, rope. We don't have a rope. We should have some thread because we were processing. I'm pretty sure, didn't we process some? And this is leather, so this is where leather goes. Dog fat, which is being rendered into tallow. Someone is tanning that dog hide into dog leather. Athena Farm Buttered wants to stay here for the purpose of eradicating monsters. I'm just going to deny that. I don't want any of these people in my fortress this time around. Or at least not immediately. And we just got so much junk in this stockpile here. It's you know, we should change the stockpile and just get rid of a bunch of stuff from it. So Like, for example, let's just get rid of all the furniture from it. We don't need any furniture. Oh, I accidentally just got rid of everything from the stockpile. You know what? I need to get rid of the stockpile anyway. This stockpile was originally just a temporary stockpile. I'm just going to make this into a cloth stockpile. And then I'm going to put yeah. So everything else should just be moved to elsewhere in the fortress now. Oil Plot Crypt wants to stay. Workshops. Yeah, let's get a second crafts workshop here. That's what we're making out of. We'll make a second crafts workshop here, and then we'll make. We have 2 carpenters workshops. We'll have 2 crafts workshops. Let's make our metalsmiths here. And let's start preparing a very basic sort of metalsmithing industry upstairs. So we'll have that there. We'll then need furnaces, so we'll need a smelter. Take out pudding stone, why not? Then we'll need a smelter. It's a smelter. Oh, we'll need a wood furnace as well. Yeah. They made some of the rodders from the... They need more bones. We need to butcher more animals. Surprised we haven't had any chickens been born. Surprised these ones haven't hatched. Unforbid those. Let's forbid both of these doors so that they can't come and get more... So the next time they lay eggs, they won't be able to come and steal the eggs. And then that way we'll get some more chickens. Okay, and then what else do we need to do? Now that we've got floor fungus growing, actually, we can now move our horses inside. So, for those of you who don't know this, this is a useful bit of info. Basically, when you've exposed the caverns open, you'll start... I mean, this is pretty obvious, actually, but... yeah, we can now make a pasture, is basically what I was going to say. We can make a big indoor pasture for our horses and sheep, which have been languishing outside in the Forgotten Wastes for a while now, because up until recently I've just kind of left them there, because we didn't have anywhere nearby the fortress where we could put them, so I've just put them in the corner of the map. So now we're going to build a big pasture up here, and we're going to have to wait until fungus floor grows in the room. But as soon as it does, we'll be able to do that, and that'll be really good. The merchants will be leaving soon. We did make some other stuff to trade with them, didn't we? Although, do they have anything else that we want? I think we need anything else from them, to be honest. We got like, everything that we desperately needed. The only thing I would consider buying would be a second pick, but I'm about to make my own picks. We've only got 2. Yeah, we've only got 2 miners. They're both legendary miners, but we've only got 2 of them. And when we get some more population, I want to appoint some more miners. So you can see here, like, floor fungus is already growing here, right? So we can assign this as a pen and pasture. Accept. Then put the horses and those in there. This level has just not been cleaned up. We haven't even bothered cleaning it. There we go. And then, yeah, we'll actually finally assign all these as bedrooms. There you go. And then a bunch more of them have bedrooms. Probably didn't have bedrooms before. So this is 10, 20, 30 bedrooms in total, which means everybody in the fortress now has a bedroom. Or at least everybody in the fortress should, in theory, have a bedroom. Auto mine hematite. Oh, and we should then look at making a new bridge. We'll construct a wall here first. Oh, I keep doing this. Okay, yeah. Don't use the closest material because you're just going to make it out of all sorts of bits and bobs. I don't want that. Okay, wall. Select material after placement. Thank you. There we go. That's the one we want. Right, and then... And we've got all the jet blocks we need. Right, there we go. There we go, and then we make the jet bridge. So this is gonna. So here we can. So you can see here we got this. This isn't very defensive at the moment, right? The main reason is because anything can just jump down here and then they're inside. But we're still going to just build this as the first level anyway, and then we're going to build another wall up here to prevent people from being able to jump into the fortress from above. But this is just kind of like the start. It's just the first defensive area. And then once we've got this done, we can then place some beehives outside. And we can have the beehives in a place where they're going to be completely protected from, you know, any sort of interference by anything. So like, for example, agitated mosquitoes. Well, mosquitoes will be able to fly over, so that's always going to be a risk. I already have made it a sheer cliff. So you can see here there's no ramp. So there's actually no ramp on this side, but unless you meant mining all the way around here. And I don't want to do that because I want my dwarves to be able to climb over it when I want them to. But even then, something with a climbing skill could still climb it, so it wouldn't be that useful. No, what we'll do is we're gonna make it 2 stories tall, effectively, and we're gonna make the entire wall 2 stories tall. It does have natural beehives. I noticed it already. And our pop is going to increase massively now, or at least it's going to increase, because some more migrants have arrived, including nobody that useful at the moment. Oh, Doran Bomrek Conrel, the first beekeeper, he survived. I've been fine, he says. Memories, he doesn't have any. Is this the same guy? Yes, it is. This is the guy whose father was a werebeast. And Brelix, his wife, is here. Was Brelix already in our fortress? The Goldenrod Guild has been established. How many Brelixes do we have in the fortress? We only have 1 Brelix? No, we have Brelix the Beekeeper, and we have Brelix the Peasant. Getting the band back together, we've got 2 Brelixes in the fortress. Alright, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to go to the toilet, so I'll just be a couple seconds. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Alright. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by building an edge around the wall that we've just constructed. I think that's how we'll do this. I think that's the best way to do this. What probably needs to be... Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we're going to construct an edge around the wall. Like that. So our pop is up to 33 now, which is fine. And we'll just have our dwarves start constructing the rest of this wall. We've even got we've got a good variety of dwarves. Nobody that really stands out, just a bunch of stuff that's like really not that useful. Like we got a wood burner. We got some people who could go into the military, I should say. Yeah, we'll need more bedrooms. We only need 3 more bedrooms, and we've already got the spaces dug out for them actually. So because we've got 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, and then we just need to put some more in. That'd be a big recommendation, by the way. I've always found it really useful to build beds in like groups. So I usually build them in like groups of 8, groups of 6, or groups of 10. So I can tell at a glance how many bedrooms I've got. It's just easier to do it that way. So we know that we've got 10 bedrooms here. We've got a pop of 33. Sorry, we know we've got 30 bedrooms. So if we build a bunch here. Sorry about that. There we go. And then we can just come in, and now we've got some more bedrooms. Oh, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. We can't make. You can only have 1 Brelix per fortress. Now, if a pre-existing Brelix appears, then that's that's an entirely different matter. Oh, I've got a really bad cough today. I'm sorry about that. We're going to butcher some of our dogs because we've got loads of dogs. Baron von Porn is here with his own pet puppy. I don't think I got COVID. I've just got a cough. That's all. We should do some other kind of unexplored industries. There's loads of industries in this game that people really kind of rarely interact with. So, like, I was thinking maybe we could do porcelain. We've got so much sand. We could do glass, actually. We could do a glass industry. I think we can make statues out of glass. Glass, statues, Dwarf Fortress. Oh... Silly, stupid dwarves. Stockpile. Oh, God. Hmm. They're moving like all this useful dog stuff outside, like the dog skin. And actually we could have people render the fat, for example, and tan the dogs. The problem with refuse piles. Alright. A new task. Yeah. Okay, the Goldenrod Guild has many members in revered stakes and now requires a guild hall. The location must be built and furnished with a hall designated for a farmer's guild. Do you approve the request? We accept. So we now have our first request for a guild hall, so we're going to build that. And we'll probably build this here because it is on the surface, but obviously we need to be careful because of the problems we had previously with well, you know the problems we had previously. Actually, we should build this as a stockpile room here. Do we want? I want to have the guild hall for the farmers be near to the farm. Because I mean it's a farmers guild, but that's going to make it more difficult to make it a high value farm. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But we could do that. We need to weave the yarn into thread first, don't we? Yeah. Do that. Okay, sorry. I had the chat closed for a second then. Brex is already the 9th there. Okay, so where are we going to build this? That's what I'm thinking at the moment. We could build it on this level, I guess. But again, this is supposed to be like workshops and stuff. Maybe we build it over here, but we build like a staircase down into it. No, that's just gonna mean I have to deal with sodding aquifer again. No, sod that. You know what? We'll just we'll just build on this level, eh? And we can have a good guild hall here. Let's do that. We even have some good spaces for it, so we can even start planning the second guild hall, for example. So like we could plan that here. Have some space for some statues. Oh no. Gonna be symmetrical, is it? I'll just have some space for some statues. We'll just have it square. I mean, square kind of sucks, but you know what? We can always do this, can't we? Yeah, just kind of make it a bit less square. So we'll make one of these into the guild hall for the farmers, and then we'll have another area that can be the next guild hall whenever we need another guild hall. Let's appoint somebody else to. We're gonna make a new miner, so we'll have a look and see who could become a new miner. So we got a bunch of peasants. We got Brelics actually, the OG Brelics. I'm not sure I can't remember what job they had in the original fortress, but maybe they could be our next miner. Now that we got our industry here, let's just very quickly make a pickaxe. So we'll make some charcoal. Actually, we'll do this as a work order here. So we'll go here, new order, charcoal, make charcoal, and just do this. Don't really care what you make it out of, but just set a work condition. If the amount of that is less than 10, and the amount of logs is greater than 10, just make charcoal. And then once that's been done, we will set up a new work order for smelting tin. Smelt. Well, we don't have tin, but we have hematite. So we'll set smelt hematite, and the condition will just be amount of iron bars. We'll just set it to that. So just for now, that's a very basic sort of smelt iron sort of work order setup. Twitch, please, why you lose connection? I've been having real trouble connecting to streams, and I'm not sure if it's even like. It seems like it's especially a problem with people who aren't partnered. I don't know if this is a recent thing or if I'm just imagining it, but I've definitely had it myself when like I'm connecting to people and I've just really had difficulty like actually connecting to watch streams. It's really irritating. Oh, look at all this wasted dog bone. They just threw all this. They threw all these dog skulls outside. Ah. Okay, we got the jet bridge done. So let's make a So over here. Oh, we probably don't have any mechanisms, do we? Mechanisms. We don't. We just rock mechanisms. Rock. Mechanisms make. Yeah, make 15 of those. Make 10 of those. And just if the amount of rock mechanisms, let's say there's 20 actually. We need a lot of mechanisms. Unless the amount of is 20. And if that's greater than 20, then make rock mechanisms. Okay, so we got the guild hall shape here. So we're now going to assign the first guild hall. We'll just build a door here. I want to use these microline doors. So this will be where the guild hall will go. We'll then set a meeting area in here. It is error 1000. I don't even get an error message. It just spends ages like constantly, refreshing, and it just never appears. We did lose like a couple of frames, but like barely any frames. So I don't know. Maybe there's just like a brief moment of instability. But I'm looking at my uploads and stuff, and it should be okay. There shouldn't be any kind of like connection concerns or anything going on there. So I'm really not sure like what's kind of behind that. I'm sure there's an answer, but it's probably not a very satisfying one. Alright, so we need to make a guild hall. The new guild hall. Then Farmer's Guild Hall. The Leafy Cloud is the name of the guild hall. And then if we click on the guild hall here, we can see that... Wait, that's a fish cleaner's guild. I didn't select fish cleaner, I selected farmer. Why do I want a fish cleaner's guild? I just got this here forever. New guild hall. Yeah. The whiskered boar. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, and we agreed to build it into a guild hall. We're gonna need a lot of value in this, so let's just start by smoothing all this out. Oh god. And it gives all of our useless dwarves something. Ooh. Looks like we got some intruders. Oh no! Those are not the kind of intruders I was expecting. Pull that lever quickly. Alright. Okay. Necromancers. We had 2 necromancer intruders just then. It looks like they just walked up to the doors, but it looks like neither of them have done anything. You know, they haven't raised any of the dead or anything. It looks like they're running off the map now. Maybe because they got sore, but still. Oh god, that was nasty. We got the gate closed, so we closed the gate, so maybe that was the reason they ran off. But still. Necromancer intruders, eh? Possibly they're just scouting, yeah. I don't know, though, because, like, necromancers... Like, there's new behaviors and stuff, and, like, you know, the way that... I didn't want this to be a wall. Actually, you know what? That works as a wall. And 4 there. Now, given that close encounter with the Necromancer, this is even more imperative to get this closed off. Like, imagine if we had just beekeepers out here when that had happened. That could have gone a lot worse. And the only people here outside, I think, were like a couple of dwarf children who, you know, let's be honest, are not among my highest priorities. That's a really awful pun, that is. In the Haunted Waste, I guess, Live, Laugh, and Love is adopted to Crone, Moan, Bone. That's terrible. That's terrible. Alright. Let's, now that we gotten that done, we should be smelting iron, I think. Coke. Alright, so what this will do, it will just allow us to... so let me just explain this a little bit, just in case anyone's kind of curious about the design that we're using, because there is a specific reason I'm doing it this way. So basically, we've built the wall here, right? We built this wall here. Now, if you have a sheer face, if you have a sheer wall, then creatures can climb over the wall. There is an exception to this, however, and the way that you avoid this from happening is you build a either another wall or something else, like a roof kind of above that. So we've built this here, and that'll prevent anything from being able to climb up here. Because there'll be something directly above them when they attempt to climb. That's also why, if you have a wall, you should cut down any trees near it, and you should do that quite regularly. It's actually worth like paving the wall outside. It just means that nothing can climb up it. But we also need to do it on this side as well, and that means we're going to have to go one level higher for the same reason. So it's going to take us a little bit of time before we can get all of this finished, but you know, we're making progress on it, and that's the general idea. They can climb smooth walls unless something's changed, yes. We're almost out of jet as well, actually, which means that we need to do something about that. Probably dig more bedrooms, I guess. We use a lot of jet for things, but we also have all of our bedrooms on the jet layer, so if we were to dig more out, then that would be more... digging more bedrooms out on this side. The jet fortress only vulnerable to steel fuel, clearly. No, not vulnerable to anything. We're going to make an impenetrable fortress, and then once we've made an impenetrable fortress, we can equip our dwarves to be able to go out there and fight zombies at our leisure. There are a lot of dirty tricks that you can use in order to make a fortress basically impossible to get into, and we're going to use all of them because this is a very unforgiving area for us to be located in. If that necromancer had gone inside our fortress, probably wouldn't have killed the fortress because we don't have anything that dead inside the fortress. But still, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? Make a giant inanimate overground airplane-shaped statue out of jet. Yeah, let's do that. We'll make a giant jet out of jet. I'm only using jet just because it's a nice color. My usual philosophy for walls is that you should make them out of wood. And that's not because wood is good or anything. It's literally just because I think it's funny to make it out of wood. Because I like to imagine that, like, you know, you have the elves. They're coming to attack your fortress, and then they see the crime that you've committed in their eyes. They see the wood that you've burned in order to build your towering spire of wood. It's like a huge middle finger to them. So that like appeals to me on like a spiritual level. So I quite like that. The only other material that's better for building walls is soap. Everybody knows that soap fortresses are the most secure fortresses. But unfortunately, we're not doing a soap fortress today. But that is something that we will explore in a future stream. Just when I kind of... Yeah, we're saving that one for a special occasion. But we will do that. We'll make the entire fortress out of soap at some point. We'll try that again. There have been many soap fortresses. None of them have done particularly well, but eventually one of them will work. It's supported by the wall, so it's next to the wall, and that's how it's supported. And it's also connected to the floor, basically. So yeah. You could make an entire. You can actually. You could theoretically make an entire fortress, supported from a single bar of soap. You can make a fortress which was supported from a single bar of soap, and then you could then basically have your dwarves. Not only could you support it from a single bar of soap, you would then be able to basically destroy the fortress by having the dwarf pull a lever that destroyed the bar of soap, and then the entire fortress would collapse. So you could do that if you wanted to. You can make a fortress that's like rigged to, kind of like it's rigged to explode, right? So if the Forgotten Beasts or the zombies or whatever ever got inside the fortress, then you just pull the lever and the whole structure collapses. People have done that before. Yeah. On the corner pieces, we have to build one block out because they can't place the corner like this. So we need to build a block here, then place the corner piece, and then once the corner piece is built, we then just deconstruct the floor. Because the corner piece is supported by the wall that it's next to, but otherwise it's you know, they can't build it. So dwarven physics is completely different than regular physics. It's like an entirely different science. An entirely different discipline. You know, and it's a discipline in its own right. Dwarf physics is. Some people say, oh, you know, it's not real physics. You can't have a degree in dwarf physics. You're not a physicist just because you play this game. But those people lack imagination. All right. One of the things that we've neglected to do, one of the many things that we've neglected to do is we've neglected to. Have we actually been smelting iron? Let's see. Stocks, bars. Yeah, 69 bars. So let's go to our Metalsmith's Forge and let's make a couple more iron picks. Weapons, iron picks. So we're going to make a couple of iron picks. Let's also make a couple of iron statues. We haven't built any statues yet. So we'll just go furniture, iron, and then statue, furniture, iron, and then statue. Now, I'm pretty sure that that uses the blacksmithing labor. What I want to do is I want to set up my labors so that only dwarves who are specifically good at blacksmithing and weaponsmithing are allowed to do those things. So we're going to set that up now. So here, weaponsmithing. We're going to set this as a custom detail. We're going to set this as weaponsmith. And the only person who's going to be allowed to weaponsmith is the legendary weaponsmith. We're then going to add a new detail here, which will be for blacksmithing. Done. And the only person who's going to be allowed to blacksmith is going to be our adequate blacksmith, Earl von Wummer, who's arrived in the fortress. And we'll set this to blacksmithing. Anything else can be done by anyone else. I don't really care about crafts as such, because I'm not going to make any crafts, but statues and things, those need to be made by the specific dwarves. And now that we've got a couple of iron picks spare, we can go through our creatures, our dwarves, and we can find dwarves who are just not doing anything useful. So, for example, we've got a bunch of peasants. We've got a dwarf here called Godan Otin Longler. In fact, let's have a look at our labours. Let's see if there's anyone. There's nobody here who's got any mining skills other than our 2 miners. But we're going to assign this. Do not do fishing, please. In fact, you get to be a fisher dwarf. You get to be a miner. You also get to be a miner, and then on engravers, I also want you to be engravers because I want my miners to be engravers as well. You're not a weaponsmith. You're a blacksmith. You know, that's fine. You know, I just want to make sure that our iron bars. You know, I just want to make sure that we've got god tier iron picks like this one, an exceptional iron pick. You get to make statues though. You get to make some beautiful statues, and we'll get to see them. And your works are going to be placed in all of our guild halls to increase the value and to attract people. So, you know, you've got that going for you. Oh, come on. Like you're gonna make some beautiful statues. Are we out of jet already? Well, we didn't find any more jet when we were digging down here, so like we're already out of jets. That's very irritating. Because now I have to find more sources of jet, but also jet that isn't gonna like cause us problems when we dig it out. Let's just engrave all that first. We'll suspend. I wish there was like a suspend button so that we could suspend the task without like clearing it entirely. Like where is it? Yeah, this one here. So like make jet box. I wish we could just suspend that task without clearing the whole thing entirely, but there isn't one of those, unfortunately. That's what we'll do is we'll just build a corridor down here because that'll get us some more jets as well, and we'll just do the same on this side for the sake of symmetry. How many cats we got? We've probably got spare cats. We've gotten a lot of pop-ups saying that we need to. I think we need to kill some cats. We need to do some cat butchery. Yeah, we don't need you. We've got more than enough cats at this point. We don't need you. Got a male cat. We got a female cat. Yeah. Butcher some of our cats. Yeah, I think rocks do have a low drop rate as well. That's true, I think. They're not gonna. I should probably like speed this up by making this the main priority, because otherwise I'm gonna get spammed with notifications about it. Why are you killing cats? Because you don't need loads and loads of cats. And I need the bones in order to make instruments. Like we were butchering dogs before, but we're turning to the cats because you know, like it just is what it is, right? You know, what can I say other than that? Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs. You gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, and we're making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Yeah, we need to. Wait, is iron statues okay? Right, no one is making an iron statue. Is tasks? Let me guess. That's done under metal crafting. I'm guessing. I guess it's not done under blacksmith. I thought it was done under blacksmithing, but I guess it's metal crafting. We'll see about metal crafting then. Metal crafting. I mean, Voma can do metal crafting as well. He's quite good at it. And we'll call this metal crafter here. I'll just check if there's any other labors that it could be. There's armoring and furnace operating. It's not going to be either of those. Well, that's why we immediately use all of the we render them into meat so that they can't come back to life. That's like it's the first thing that we do. But look, we're using the stray cat bones to make instruments. It's important. Okay, so we want gauge and restraints, not restraints, but traps. No constructions, machines, fluids, lever. Put it here. Jet mechanisms. Yep. No, not if it's prepared meats. Oh, looks like an agitated camel got inside of our fortress. Hey, it looks like camel meat's back on the menu, boys. Oh no, a bunch of agitated camels are outside here, and we don't have a military. We need to get a military force here. Hold on a second. Yeah, so a bunch of camels have broken into the fortress, and now all of our dwarves are kicking them to death. I don't really mind that, although it's a shame that Galka died. Camel is exhausted and just bleeding to death. Oh! How many dwarves did they kill? I thought it was just the one dwarf. I was like, oh, one dwarf. That's fine. Oh my god, how many camels does it... Oh no! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we need to pull this lever real quick. Oh god. Okay. Oh, 9 dwarves have died. 10 dwarves have died. There's still more than there's more camels inside here. There's at least 3 camels here. Oh, you're unconscious. Are there any more active camels? Have we got any more active camels? There's a stray lamb there. Like, where are the camels at? There's one there. This one's injured. Oh, there's one there as well. This one's not even in the fortress yet. It's nauseated and injured. Relics has died. One of the relics has died. All 3 porters died. Oh, von Wummer has died. How many camels are there in the forge? Oh my god! There's only 2 camels left alive. I don't think they're getting killed. I think they are, because one of them's unconscious. One of them was unconscious. There's just one of them that's still running around somewhere. Yeah, this one's unconscious and is currently being beaten to death. Alright. Military squad. Paladin. Great new squad, no uniform. View the positions in the squad, assign position to all of my miners. Go and attack the dwarf. Don't drop the pick! Paladin died. Come on, it's almost dead. Come on. Oh, you're also unconscious. Chosro's unconscious. You overexerted yourself trying to fight the camel and you're unconscious. Have they killed the other camel? Alright. That's a squad. Just I know everybody into the military squad. All the remaining dwarves, just go and kill the last camel. Everybody rush downstairs and kill this camel. Why is it unconscious? How hard is it to kick a camel to death? Is everyone in this squad like... injured, it's bleeding, it's injured, it's bleeding. This camel's killed 15 dwarves. Droplet calmed the fealty of diamonds. Dwarves didn't used to overexert themselves trying to punch stuff to death. That's a new feature. Oh, well, we're not sure if it's a feature. I was going to say that we could probably recover from this. But, like, I'm not even sure now because they can't kill the last camel. Just punch it to death, please. They've been in a month-long fight with a camel. It's late winter. What about the other camel? The other camel is the other camel still unconscious? Or is it roaming around the... They're just trying to punch this other camel to death as well, which is overcome by terror and bleeding. Oh, they're gonna tantrum spiral. Alright, well, I think that's the end of this fortress. I'm not sure about any of you guys, but I think we can say that this one was perhaps a little bit of a failure. This is not Boat Murdered because Boat Murdered got a lot further along than we did before the camel apocalypse occurred. But yeah, like we got quite a lot of miasma and everything else. God, okay, yeah. We definitely need a military. Like, you can't get away with not having a military in this version of the Dwarf Fortress. We've learned something new. We've learned something new. You know, we learn something new every time we do this. We've learned that we definitely need to have a active military pretty early on compared to what we used to be able to get away with at the start. But there you go, because like we just got rushed down by camels. The funniest thing is that we hadn't really done anything outside for a while, so I kind of thought that we had been spared the agitation because we'd had like we'd had invasions from giant mosquitoes mostly, but our dwarves were able to punch those to death. Everybody at least needs a weapon. I'm not sure about that, but we definitely need to have like a military squad. You probably need to set up your first migrant wave to just be a military squad. Probably like I'm not sure really, just a camel's still alive. I'm just waiting for the camel to die. Probably second wave is fine, yeah, I think so. But definitely like we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot. The game has changed significantly since when I was playing it last, and we now know about the dangers of camels. We need to respect camels. Hold on, I want to do something real quick. Let's have a look at my dashboard on Twitch.tv. Oh, good grief. Trying to train your own war camels. Yeah, maybe it's worth training war dogs, actually. That's another point. Standard emotes. I have an extra slot open for a standard emote. Maybe we need a camel emote to commemorate the fealty of Diamond. Anyway, that's something I'll think about later. But yeah, so... thanks everybody for watching. I guess we're going to retire the fortress here. Abandon it. Should we? We could retire the fortress. We could retire. Do we abandon the fortress to ruin, or do we retire it? Like, I think, do we have to give it to the camels on this one? Or do we just let it stand so that it's technically still alive? Abandon it to the camels. I think it's only appropriate that we abandon the fortress to the camels. Let's have a look at the history ledger before we end the stream. Let's do a little bit. Yes, they can, Chosro. So any of those who survived the camel massacre of the year 103 will be able to show up in the history files. Oh yeah, I found that out as well. You might have missed it in the stream, but I found that out. All right. So let's just do the Legends viewer, and we'll have a look at the Legends viewer, and then we'll see some more information about the murderous camels of the wasteland that we're in. Maybe we need to do a horror embark, which isn't a savage, tame, and wild, or whatever. Just start another fortress now. We can't start a new fortress right now. I need to go cook something to eat, and I don't want to start one for like an hour and then end the stream. So yeah, we're gonna leave it here. Let's have a look at our sites. So what's the name of I actually don't remember the name of the fortress. Is Revered Stakes. Revered. There it is. There's a few different camels. The Board of Drink? What's the Board of Drink? This is the survivors here, coming together. Okay, so Rough Morals was a dog born in 97. In the late winter of 103, Rough Morals mortally wounded the two humped camels scratched douses who bled to death in Revered Stakes. In the early spring of 104, Rough Morals became a member of the Board of Drink. In the early spring of 104, Rough Morals fled into the dunes of Sundering. So yeah, basically all that the cat Aerial pack figures. There was a cat who was part of the Palisades of Twinkling. So yeah, let's have a look at those. Let's see what happened to the camel. It was the diamond one that was the main one. Yeah, the two humped camel drop cameled the fealty. Oh, we don't get to know what happened to this camel, but yeah, Droplet calmed, struck down the dwarf Asmel speaker label. Not one camel, but several camels. They rushed the fortress before I could do anything to stop them, and just started beating to death everyone in the fortress. Like, absolutely everyone. They killed over half of the population of the fortress. This camel alone killed 15 dwarves. and 1 U. It's the new changes to agitation. So basically, if you do stuff outside, like cut down trees and stuff, it agitates the surrounding wildlife, and it's especially bad if you're in a savage biome, which we were, because that was part of the challenge I wanted. I wanted to try and go in a savage biome, but I didn't expect it to be quite so aggro, basically. So yeah, some of the dwarves have left on. So some of these dwarves here doesn't look like any of the player dwarves have made it out, but we might see some of these dwarves again, like Goad and Wine Letters, um, who unfortunately had a pretty miserable time of it. Okay, but yeah. Oh my God, that comment. All right. Okay, yeah. Enough of that. Um, Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys again next time, whenever that is. And thank you for now. See you guys again later.